So without further ado, we're going to give the floor to Jackie Wiley, again from the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. She is going to talk to us about common cyber internet scams, telephone scams, ID theft, and other online threats. So Jackie, I would like to welcome you again to our PPCC meeting.
Well, thank you so much. And I do apologize to everybody that's on the call this evening. A spur of the moment power outage and lost internet connection, but I'm back. So
No problem.
thank you
Welcome.
for having me. And I'm going to try to share my screen really quick. So if someone could let me know if they see it.
I just made you co-host, so try it again.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, a few of you have noticed that I've made you co-host, and that's because, as I said, I ended up being stuck in my car. If I lose reception, I want to make sure you're all still on. So we have a few co-hosts, and Jackie, you are now one of them.
Okay, so I'm hitting the share button. Can you see the screen?
Not yet.
How about now? Interesting.
Nope, not yet.
This is ridiculous. Let's see how I can get this up here.
Jackie, if you want to email it to me, I might be able to share my screen.
Okay, I'll do that really quick. Forward this to you.
So while Jackie's doing that, I want to say we still are going to hear from organizational reps with any updates. So if you have them, please raise your hand so I can see how many we've got. And then Officer Espin will not be with us today. He's driving back from Mammoth. And as far as I know, we only will have Michael Amster with an update. Michael's already on the call. So this meeting is likely going to be shorter than what you're usually used to. We usually can't break until 8:30. This one will be quicker. Congratulations. Jackie, did you email that to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see.
Let's see.
This is Jackie.
I was trying to get a message to you earlier.
All right. The last one I have from you is just your power. There we go. PowerPoint. Yikes. I hope I can share this.
I'm going to try it again while you're trying.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got it.
Oh, great.
Yay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Can you see the screen?
Yes. Yes, we can.
There we go. Okay, I am so sorry. It's dark. It's crazy here right now. So anyway, I am Jackie Wiley with the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. And you probably are saying, who are we and what do we do? We are California state licensing and regulatory agency with oversight of state financial institutions, products, and professionals. Well, what does that mean? We license state chartered banks and credit unions, residential mortgage loan originators, mortgage servicers. A lot of us own homes. So we license and regulate financial lenders, the PACE administrators, a whole list of these industries, some that you see listed on the screen here. But for a full list, you can go to our website. We license over 296,000 financial professionals and products and institutions. We are formally the Department of Business Oversight, so that may jog a memory of who we are, or you've heard of that name versus the DFPI. What is our role? We examine companies to ensure compliance with state and federal law. We take action against those that are operating illegally and using unlawful, deceptive, and or abusive practices. And we should all know that that has heightened and has become a burden on a lot of us today. We have tripled in investigating a lot of the consumer complaints that have come into our office since the pandemic. And my role, again, as targeted outreach specialist, is to do presentations covering the Los Angeles County region, demographics, seniors, older adults. And I do presentations like I'm doing tonight to help avoid becoming a victim of financial fraud and scams, and to help people make financial decisions safely. So I'm just going to jump right into it. And so we should all know that the common methods of contact, they came up with these three new names during the pandemic: phishing, phishing, and smishing. Phishing with the PH has been around for a very long time. Phishing was a new one for me, which simply means contacting us through telephone and whether phone or our cell phones. Phishing is computer and email contacts, and then smishing is text messages. Now, all three of these methods of contact have the same thing in common. They're convincing, they play on our emotions, the scammers, and it's always about a sense of urgency. They want us to act quickly so that they can, quote unquote, rectify our situation and help us resolve something. And they tell you to keep it a secret. But so when they start wanting you to request money like wire transfer, prepaid cards, gift cards, crypto, all meaning send money, that is a way to deplete our accounts and to gain our personal and financial information. Some of the most common financial fraud and scams I want to touch on tonight, which has become very, very prevalent, and we're hearing about it so much, and we all need to be aware of what is happening. So just so you know, calls can be spoofed to make you believe that the call is legitimate. But what we are hearing about are government and business imposter phone calls. So for instance, it's tax time. We're probably going to start getting a lot of the imposter IRS phone calls. It shows up on your viewer as the revenue service. So sometimes we should be saying to ourselves, wow, why is the IRS calling me? They are not. You might see something or hear a voice message about your social security card being compromised. Why would they be calling you? How is a social security card frozen? We need to also be mindful about this. This one in particular is the utility company scam. And many of us are falling victim to that. Someone calling and identifying themselves as a person utility company. They're in the delinquent department. They're giving you a courtesy call, because your bill is overdue, and they're going to shut your services off before the end of business today. Please, please, please be mindful and know that government agencies don't and won't call us. Okay, people are getting phone calls saying they're from the IRS, that you owe back taxes to pay money or get arrested or be deported. They're calling and identifying themselves as a Social Security Administration employee, shutting off our services within X number of days if you don't pay, if the payment is not received by the close of business. Again, government agencies don't call you to remind you to pay anything. They won't call you to remind you to pay, or will threaten you to make a payment. The business imposters that we're hearing about, the phone calls, businesses, banks, tech support companies, the lottery, yep, that's still around and it's becoming very rampant, and charity scams. So, you might receive a phone call from a business. Maybe your bank is calling you and they're telling you that you need to update your information. They're calling you as a courtesy, verifying that you're still, congratulating you that you're a customer. And they may ask you to provide your social security number to verify that that is whom you are. Please be mindful that just because you bank with them or you are familiar with the name of the business that is calling you for information, please don't believe the caller. Go to the source to verify all information, because we don't know who is on the other end of the line. You may get a pop-up from a tech support company. You're on your computer and something may pop up just out of the blue saying that your computer has been hacked, and for you to call this number right away. People have fallen for that. They continue to fall for it. We get really nervous when our computer starts acting up, but when and if it does, please get off of it. Do not call the number that is on the pop-up screen. People are still falling for the lottery email, saying that they won the lottery. I got one the other day telling me that I'm a $5 million winner for the Publishers Clearinghouse, and to click here to verify my information. Don't click on that. Don't call any of these numbers. And please, charities, Please know that the fire department, the sheriffs, and the police departments don't and won't call you for solicitations of fundraisers. A lot of people are falling for that because, again, people are calling and providing information as if they are in an authoritative role. Always go to the source to verify your information. In other ways, not just with government and business imposters. We're getting emails and text messages, and they may indicate something like your payment didn't go through. Please click this link to update your information. Maybe you got in a text message that you or you if you have done a cash transaction. I know most of us, or we should be familiar with Zelle, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. If you get an email or a text message asking you if you have provided a cash transaction, please reply yes or no. Please don't reply at all. We should be deleting that. Remember, cash transactions that we do, we have to perform the action. So that is another text message or email that is coming out of the blue sky. You have to perform the action. We're hearing a lot about text messages or emails saying, hey, your package is at the warehouse. Please click this link to verify the address that it should be mailed to. Come on, if you know that you did not send a package, and even if you did, what warehouse would it be at? So please go to the source and verify everything before you respond. And you are not supposed to or should not respond to the links or the numbers that are left on your voice message or an unknown caller. Even further, we should all know that the AI, artificial intelligence, has emerged and it is moving quickly and people are falling for it. Number one scam is with the grandparent relative scam. You're receiving a phone call, grandma, it's me. Please don't call mom and dad. I'm need bail money. With artificial intelligence, it may sound like a relative, it may sound, but it may sound something they are proclaiming to be related to you. Please, before you provide your information and agree to sending any kind of money, you need to hang up and verify with your family members to make sure that your loved one is not in any harm's way. Investment scams, identity theft, creating deep fakes, photos and videos, publishing news, and creating fake accounts are all part of the artificial intelligence that's emerging now. We have to remember that because we see a celebrity that is endorsing a an item, we shouldn't believe that that's who it really is. Anytime there is a demand for payment without opportunity to ask questions or pay in a prepaid gift card is a red flag. Who pays their bills on this call today with a gift card? I don't believe anybody does. And remember, government agencies don't and won't call you, and they certainly don't threaten you to make payments. So do not respond, and please go to the source and verify. Simply said, again, the spoofing is so unreal. So if you receive a text, a call, an email, even a snail mail letter, artificial intelligence, your logo of your bank may be really, really big. And that is to catch your eye and not really paying attention to the grammatical errors that are in the body of the letter. And there have been. And then there's a link for you to click on so that you can do what the instructions tell you to do. We have found that with AI, the link may look real, but it's a false link that is embedded in the real link. So just because you recognize the logo of a simple snail mail, please go to the source and verify. Be suspicious of these calls, text message, emails, letters, and messages on social media, because the caller or the sender may not be who they say they are. And the Department of Financial Protection and Innovation, as me being one of the outreach specialists, we distribute this Protect Yourself from Fraud booklet that has a host of about other scams that are targeting us and especially older adults. So if you're interested in getting the book, you can always email our department. And lastly, doing business. Therefore, we need to be cautious. We need to watch out for copycat sites. What's a copycat site? Amazon.com, COM is the extension. There are sites that say Amazon.com, CON. So when you are on websites and you are perusing and looking up information, maybe getting airline tickets, make sure that you are on a secure site. You need to see that S after the HTTPS, which stands for secure. You need to see a closed lock when you are online purchasing. When we are doing any purchasing online, I'm going to suggest that you don't use your bank card, your debit card. Use a credit card, okay? So that you can dispute any charges that may pop up that you didn't make. Think about getting a two-step multi-authentication to get extra protection. I know older adults are not used to that, and we had to really resort to doing a lot online when the pandemic came about. We need to think about changing our passwords and making them stronger. And I can't implore enough to limit our information on social media and only talk to people that you are familiar with, because that email or that text message, again, may not be real. So you should always go to the source yourself. What else can you do? Never give out your personal information unless you have initiated the contact. Any incoming call, we should be suspicious of an unknown number. If the number is not in my login, the name doesn't pop up, I'm not answering it. If they're leaving me a voice message and I'm not expecting it and I don't know who it is, I'm not answering it. And do not follow up. Again, if it's somebody that you just don't know, please don't answer. And if you do, just hang up once they start talking and asking for personal information. Again, government agencies don't and won't call. We need to be mindful about clicking on links and from text messages and emails. Just delete it. It's very fearful to get a text message that says that your credit card or your bank card has been compromised or there's been some unusual activity on your bank account. Don't open it. Don't use the information on that text or in that text or that link. Go to the call the bank yourself to verify. If we are using our debit cards, which comes from the money comes from our bank accounts, please remember to try to do credit, which means bypassing the PIN number. I always ask, is the yellow button, but when you bypass the PIN, less chance if there is a skimmer on the machine, we detect it because we're not looking for it. But if you're using your debit cards when you're out shopping, to credit, don't have to punch your number. And we have check writers. People still write checks, whether it's 1,550 a month. I'm suggesting that you use an anti-fraud gel pen, which will protect your checks if someone was to steal the check and check wash the information off of it. The anti-fraud gel cards without credit reports. So if you're not monitoring it, and by law right now, we can do we have to wait for 1 year to get an annual credit report? So try to monitor that. And if you know that you're not going to be obtaining any new credit where they don't have to check your credit, put a freeze on it. You can always lift it very easily if you need to get your credit pulled. When you put a freeze on your credit, it protects any federal level is the Federal Trade Commission to report scams and fraud, and there's the website there on the page. And scams are happening more and more on the internet. So if it's a cyber crime, you should be filing a complaint with the IC3, which is the Internet Crime Bureau. Okay. Does anybody have any questions or any comments?
Yes, Karen Ridgely, may I? May I ask a question? It's Karen Ridgely.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, I have a question. I have on my landline call interception app called nomorobo.com.
Mm-hmm.
I still get a lot of calls that are from numbers that are not intercepted by that. And on cell phones, I am getting messages where I know in the response you can just type in stop, and that blocks them from supposedly being able to continue to send you things like political requests for donations and stuff like that. I don't know about scam groups, but are there any other good apps that you would recommend that are either effective for cell phones or that are more effective than nomorobo.com for landline?
I don't know of any other apps because Nomo Robo is the one that I hear about all the time. And I know that people like yourself continue to say, I still get phone calls. We are always going to get solicitation calls. That's just it. There's no way to just stop it completely. If you are not familiar with the Federal Trade Commission, they have the do not call registry. We have people who still don't abide by that. You can register your home phone and your cell phone with the do not call registry, but you're still going to get phone calls. People say, well, I just delete it or I just block it. They're getting so sophisticated where they'll call you from one number and you'll block it or delete it, and they're going to just turn around and get another number and call you from that. So our due diligence is to not answer and definitely don't engage when you get those phone calls. It's unfortunate that there's nothing that's going to completely stop us from receiving solicitation calls.
Right. I have one other question, which is about Venmo.
Yes.
And I heard you speak about Zelle and Venmo, that I guess they go directly to your bank account instead of like a credit card where you have the right to cancel a transaction and block, them from taking your money. I've run into a lot of situations where it's a convenience, supposedly I don't use it, but how secure is it and what are your facts about using it, that and Zelle?
I'm just to be honest, in today's times, the scammers are again so sophisticated. It's hard to say what is solely secure. Zelle, Venmo, Cash App, those are peer-to-peer cash transactions. For example, my kids will say, Mom, oh my God, please don't write a check for Christmas or for my birthday. Can you Zelle it to me? Because it comes directly from my bank account to their bank account. But you have to remember, once you press send, that's it. So you have got to know that you are sending it to the correct person. We've had instances where people send a Zelle and then we'll dispute it, and it's hard to get the money back because, again, we are the ones who are performing the transaction. So you have to be careful and know that you're sending it to the correct person. And to me, I'm really just sending it to family members. And if I'm at dinner with all of us, we know each other. So I have your cell phone number, I have your email. That's how the transactions work. So the security is us hard to get it back if someone has stolen your identity or gotten an account and utilizes the app. Yeah.
Right. And the
But
only other
Okay,
we
so
do
I'm gonna-
regulate the money transmitters. So if there's a problem, you can always call our department and ask further questions about it.
Okay,
Mhm.
yes.
Okay,
Oh.
so first of all, I wanted to say thank you, Jackie. Thank you for that great presentation. And then we still have a couple more questions. So we're gonna go to Murray and then Leanne, if that's okay.
Sure.
Hi, thank you so much for that really wonderful presentation. I just have one question. Oftentimes on the telephone, when I'll see an indication from the phone company that says this is a scam risk, so they know it's a scam risk. What I often wonder is why do they transmit it at all? Why isn't someone blocking or having the phone company block those known scams?
Murray, thank you for the compliment. I don't know how to answer that per se as to why a phone company is not blocking particular numbers. And let's think about that. Could you imagine all the numbers that are being utilized? Scammers change numbers all the time, and that mechanism of potential scam or scam likely, to me, that's a great thing to have pop up on my phone, because then I'm definitely not entertaining it. And again, I just don't answer phone calls or numbers that I don't recognize. So that's the best answer that I can give to you, is that it's a good thing that it does that, but it's not going to do it for every single number. It comes sporadically on my phone, so I get a lot of unknown numbers. And like you said, why doesn't it say that for every single number? I don't know.
Yeah, the pain in the tush is when it happens at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. You have to have your ringer on low.
Right. Thanks again.
Thank you for the question. Yes, Leanne?
I am so glad to know about your organization, and I'm so happy that you are available. All of us are concerned about this, and we have, older relatives who are so loving and trusting, and it's unbelievable what has, transpired. So I'm just so grateful. I felt that most of your information, I'm to log out is so much more important than closing a screen. I wanted to confirm that.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So when I close a screen, it's still open and someone could get in it.
That's my feeling. I just think about extra precautions. So let's just say if I'm checking my bank account, I just want to see if something came through. I'm not going to just swipe up and close it. I'm going to log out. I'm going to sign out so that in case it's still out there on the iCloud. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
Just for peace of mind for me, I suggest doing that.
Okay. And I want to say about Zelle and Venmo, Venmo got to market first and is wildly popular, but my understanding is Zelle is actually safer because it's what the banks use. And it's a shame that Zelle wasn't first to market. I did not want to attach my Venmo to my account. I just have one of my kids put a little money in it, and then I have it to spend. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I just, it's not, Zelle is the account that banks use. Is that correct?
Yes, and you're correct in saying that using Venmo and I think Cash App, you have to attach your banking information and go through all of that. But with Zelle, you do, but it's not in the manner of Venmo and Cash App. So Zelle is more prominently used right now. And again, it gives you have to just make sure that you are correct with the number. When I first started using it, I didn't know that you didn't need the 1310. You just, so just make sure that you confirm the email, the number that you are Zelling to. Okay.
Well,
and
with Venmo, I always will send $1 if I have any question at all, to make sure I got it going first. Is my advice. So I'd heard Andy Cohen, I think, on the news, and it is mind-blowing what happened to him. And he was so open about it. And it's amazing how they can catch you, and you think you're talking, you call a number, you think they're talking to your bank, and they've already forwarded the number to their stuff. And I would just say, after hearing his spiel on that, if you have anything come up with your bank, you should physically just go down to your bank, because who knows what has transpired if you really think something is wrong. And that was his advice. And he's a smart guy, and I guess it's a pretty big one. And the last thing I just wanted to ask you is, do you think California's legislation is supportive of going after these criminals? Or do you not deal in that arena?
I'm not in the enforcement division, but when Gavin Newsom changed our department name, he signed a bill, and I can't think of the Senate bill off the top of my head, the number, but this was in 2021. We're known now for like the mini CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. They're federal and we're state. But when he changed our name from business oversight to financial protection and innovation, that expanded our department, and the expansion has afforded us more authority, picking up more industries to monitor. And then, with crypto and a lot of these entrepreneurs surfacing and all these different apps, we have created an Office of Financial Technology, so that people can call and inquire about an entrepreneur's business that you see online. We also have, because crypto is rising, we have a crypto scam tracker that's on our website. So people who are, wanting to get involved with it, you can see if they are on the up and up. But for peace of mind, Leanne, I think that it's hard with legislation, and we're really out there pounding and trying bad actors. Go on our website and see some of the things that we have done, shutting down agencies or having them fined. We just did a collaborate with the Federal Trade Commission, where it resulted in a $19 million suit, where the individual, it was the company he was posing as, with telemarketers calling older adults for debt relief for their homes. So I'm going to say this: all money and all relief opportunities that come in play are not always good. You have got to do your homework, and you have got to go to the source and start verifying and call our agencies to see what you find out. If it's not within our jurisdiction, we will definitely get you to the appropriate one that can help you. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Well, Jackie,
so your
I'll just
website
say you were so concise and helpful, and I can't thank you enough. And I wish you were on every news channel. Really, so concise and thorough, really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. So Jackie, first of all, I wanted to say your website is dfpi.org, or?
No, dfpi.ca.gov, G-O-V.
So let me go there. That's dfpiga.gov. ca.gov, California.
Yes.
Because I'm going to drop it into the chat as soon as it comes up. Okay.
And if anybody's interested in the Protect Yourself from Fraud booklet, Miriam, I can send you some, and you can get them to the council,
that would be great,
to the meeting or something like that. Mm-hmm.
That would be great. We can help distribute it. And I'm also going to distribute now that I have it in my inbox, now I'm going to distribute your PowerPoint so that everybody can see it after the meeting. I'll send out a community newsletter. So I'm dropping your website into the chat so far as I can tell. No, I can't be it. All right. One thing I did want to tell everybody, so the first time I heard you speak, you kept saying, go to the source, go to the source. And that just seemed to be the best information ever. It was sort of like, if in doubt, just go to the source. And it seems like that's good advice, whether it's your bank you're worried about or your, grandchild you're worried about. Go to the source seemed to be really good advice. The other thing I want to take the opportunity to say to everyone is the info@pacpallycc.org email gets hacked. Sometimes, I dare say often. I don't know why. We've talked to our service provider and they're telling us that their servers are pretty strong and they've actually kicked up the scam catch level. But still, sometimes it does get hacked. And so people on the board, or for all I know, other people do get emails from the info account. It'll either say, I'm emailing you, or Beth is emailing you. And sometimes we're distraught or we're in a terrible place and we desperately need your help. I can pretty much tell you guys that those are always going to be spam. We are not going to reach out to board members if we desperately need help. So please, please, please don't fall for those. Neither Beth nor I are going to be calling you for any kind of emergency assistance. If we do, text me and check, but I just want to sort of reiterate the go to the source and be skeptical idea that you always seem to put out there, Jackie.
Thank you. I want to say one last thing. Be skeptical about receiving emails from friends. I got an email, a text message, I'll say, from a friend supposedly, and it said something like, hey Jackie, I'm hoping you're having a good week. Did I send this to you this morning? And we usually send each other maybe motivational poems or something like that. And it said, love, my friend's name, but and what I noticed was her text it was not hers, but it appeared to be from her, and they wanted me to click on that link, which would have opened up a whole can of worms. So what I did was, so somebody has hacked her, and they're sending out messages to her friends and family posing as her. So be careful when you see something and you might recognize the person's name. It may not be them. Okay?
Yeah. Well, you were talking about AI and how much more sophisticated it's made these scammers. It occurs to me, and some of the officers and I have talked about this, sometimes these emails that seem to come from the info@PacPallyCC account sound like us. They'll say something, it'll be like, I'll email the treasurer and I'll say, hey, it's Miriam, I'm wondering about such and such transaction. And it really does sound like it could be, coming from the disposition of this person, So again, going to the source and being, wholly skeptical sounds like it's a really good idea. Thank you, Jackie,
Absolutely.
for the work that you do. Thank the governor for us too.
Thank you. I appreciate you all for having me. Okay.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
good rest of the evening. Okay.
Thank you. You too. We will share your
I'm gonna
information with
go.
everyone. We appreciate
right.
this information. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All
you.
right then. Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. So